Circe's will try to practice upon you. She will mix a mess for you to drink, and she will drug the meal which she makes it, but she will not be able to charm me for the virtue of her, and I shall give you over then her spells from working. I will tell you all about it when Circe strikes you. She will her wand to draw your sword and strain upon her, as though you were going to kill her. She will then be frightened, and will desire you to go to bed with her. On this you will not point blank refuse her, for you want her to set your companions free. And take good care also of yourself, but you must also make her swear solemnly by all the blessed gods that she will plot no further mischief against you, or else, when she has got you naked, she will unman you and make you fit for nothing. As he spoke, he pulled her out of the ground and showed me what it was like. The root was black, while the flower was as white as milk. The gods called it moly, and the mortal man cannot uproot it, but the gods can do whatever they like. Then Hermes went back to the high Olympus, passing over the wooded island, and I fared onward to the house of Circe, and my heart was clouded with care as I walked along. When I got to the gates, I stood there and told the goddess, and as soon as she heard me, she came down, opened the door, and asked me to come in, so I followed her, much trouble in my mind. So she set me on a richly decorated seat, inlaid with silver. There was a crystal also under my feet, and she mixed the mess in a golden goblet for me to drink, but she drank it before she meant me mischief. When she had given it to me, and I had drunk it, it's charming me, she struck me with her wand. There now, she cried, be up to the street and make your lair with the rest of them. When I rushed at her with my sword drawn, as though I would kill her, whereon she fell, a loud scream, clasped my knees, and spoke piteously, saying, who and whence are you? From what place and people have you come? How can it be that my drugs have no power to charm you? Never yet has any man able to stand so much as a taste of the herb I gave you. You must be spell-proof. Surely you can be none other than the bold hero Odysseus, whom Hermes always said would come here some day with his ship, while on his way home from Troy. So be it, then sheath your sword and let us go to bed, and we may make friends and learn to trust each other. And I answered, seriously, how can you expect me to be friendly with you when you have just been turning all my men into pigs? And now that you have gone back here from me myself, you mean me mischief when you ask me to go to bed with you, and you will unman me and make me fit for nothing. I shall certainly not consent to go to bed with you unless you will first take your solemn oath to plot no further harm against me. So she swore at once as I had told her, and when we had completed oath, then I went to bed with her. Meanwhile, her 4 servants, who are her housemaids, sit about their work. They are children, the groves and fountains, and the holy waters. I went down into the sea. One of them spread a fair purple cloth over seats, and laid a carpet underneath it. Another brought tables of silver up to the seats, and then with glasses of gold. A third mixed some sweet wine with water and silver bowl, and put golden cups upon the tables. While the fourth running water and set it to boil in a large cauldron over a good fire which she had lighted. When the water in the cauldron was boiling, she poured cold water into it, and I was just as I liked it. And then she set me in the bath, and began washing me for the cauldron about the head and the shoulders to take a tire and set inside of my limbs. As soon as she had done washing me and anointed me with oil, she arrayed me in a good cloak and shirt, and let me to a richly decorated seat and laid of silver. There was a footstool also under my feet. A maidservant then brought me water and a beautiful golden ewer, and poured it into the silver basin for me to wash my hands, and she drew a clean table beside me. Another servant brought me bread and offered me many things of what there was in the house. And then Circe bade me eat, and I would not sat without eating. That was before me still moving suspicious. When Circe then saw me sitting without eating and agree, she came to me and said, Odysseus, why do you sit like that as though you were done, gnawing at your own heart and refusing both meat and drink? Is that you who are still suspicious? You ought not to be, for I have already sworn solemnly that he will not hurt you. And I said, Circe, no man with any sense of what is right can think of either eating or drinking in your house until you have set my friends free, and let him see them. If you want to eat and drink, you must free my men, and then to me, that I may see them with my own eyes. When I had said that, she went straight through the court with her wand in her hand, and opened the pastry doors. My men came out like so many crying hogs, and stood looking at her, but she went about among them and known to each of them with a second bread, whereon the bristles that had that drug had given them fell off. They became men again, younger than that they were before, much taller and better looking. They knew me at once and seized me, each of them by hand, and wept for joy till the whole house was filled with the sound of their hoobalooning. And Circe herself was so sorry for them. Then she came up to me and said, Odysseus, noble son of Laertes, go back at once to the sea, where you have left your ship, and first try to the land. Then hide all your ships here in poverty in some cave, and come back here with your men. I agreed to do this, so I went back to the seashore and found the men at the ship weeping and wailing most piteously. Once they saw me, the silly loving fellows began frisking around me as calves break out and gambol around their mothers. When they see them coming home to be milked after they have been feeding all day in the homes at the towns where they are lowing, they seemed as glad to see me as though they had gone back to their own rugged Ithaca, where they had been born and bred. Circe said, affectionate creatures, we are as glad to see you back as though we had got safe home to Ithaca, but to tell us about the fate of our comrades. I spoke comfortingly to them and said, we must draw our ship onto the land and hide the ship's gear with all our property in some cave. Then come with me, all of you, as fast as you can to Circe's house, and when you will find your comrades eating and drinking in the midst of a great abundance. On this the men would have come with me at once, but your locust tried to hold them back and said, alas, poor wretches that we are, what will become of us, rush not unto the ruin by your going to the house of Circe, you will turn us all into pigs or wolves or lions, and we will have to keep guard over her house. Remember how the Cyclops treated us when our comrades went inside of this cave, and Odysseus with them. It was all through his sheer folly that those men lost their lives. When I heard him, I was in two minds whether or no to draw the keen blade that hung by my sturdy thigh and cut his head off in spite of his being a near relation of my own. But the man interceded for him and said, Sir, it may not be, so let this fellow stay here and mind the ship, and take the rest of us with you to Circe's house. On this we all went inland, and Eurylochus was not left behind after all, but came on too, for he was frightened by the severe reprimand that I had given him. Meanwhile, Circe had been seeing that the men who had been left behind were washed and anointed with olive oil, and she had also given them woven clothes and shirts. When we came, we found them all comfortably at dinner in her house. As soon as the men saw each other face to face, knew one another, they wept for joy and cried aloud till the whole palace rang again. Thereon Circe came up to me and said, Odysseus, noble son of Laertes, tell your men to leave off crying. I know how much you have all suffered at sea, and how little you have fared among cruel savages on the mainland, but that is over now. So stay here and eat and drink till you are once more as strong and hearty as you were when you left Ithaca. For at present you have weakened both in body and mind. You keep all the time thinking about hardships you have suffered during your travels, so that you have no more cheerfulness left in you. Thus did she speak in the sense that we stayed of Circe for a whole 12 months, feasting upon an untold quantity both of meat and wine. But when the year had passed, and the waning of the moons and the long days, and come round, my man called me apart and said, Sir, it is time for you to get in thing about doing going before so to be spared to see your house and meet the country at all. Thus did they speak, and I assented. Thereon through the livelong day, to the going down of the sun we feasted our fill on meat and wine. But when the sun went down and it came on dark, the men laid themselves down to sleep, and they covered cloisters. I, however, after I had got into bed, Circe besought her by her knees, and the goddess listened to what I had go to say. Circe, said I, please to keep the promise you made me about furthering me on my homeward voyage. voyage. I want to get back and do my men, that they are always pestering me with their complaints as soon as ever your back is turned. And the goddess answered, Odysseus, noble son of Laertes, you shall none of you stay here any longer if you do not want to. But there is another journey which you have to take before you can sail homewards. You must go to the house of Hades and with Persephone to consult the ghost of the blind Fabian prophet Tiresias, whose reason is still unshaken. To him alone has Persephone left her understanding, even in death, that other ghosts flit about aimlessly. I was dismayed when I heard this. I sat up in bed and would gladly have lived no longer to see the light of the sun. But presently I was tired of leaving and tossing myself about. I said, and who shall guide me upon this voyage? For the house of Hades is a port that no ship can reach. You will want no guide, she answered. Raise your mast, set your white sails, sit quiet still, and the north wind will blow you there of itself. When the ship has traversed the waters of Oceanus, you will reach the fertile shore of Persephone's country, which is the groves of the tall poplars and willows that shed their fruit untimely. Here beach your ship upon the shore of Oceanus, and go straight on to the dark abode of Hades. You will find the branch of the river Styx, follow it into Acarion, and you will see a rock near it, just where the two roaring rivers run into one another. When you have reached this spot, as I now tell you, dig a trench a cubit or so in length, breadth, and depth, and pour into it a drink offering to all the dead. First, honey mixed with milk, then wine, and a third place water, sprinkling white barley meal over the whole. Moreover, you must offer any prayers of poor people ghosts, and promise them that when you get back to the Ithaca, you will sacrifice a barren heifer to them, the best you have, and will load the beer with good things. More particularly, you must promise that Tiresias shall have a black sheep, all to himself, the finest in all your flocks. When you shall have thus besought the ghosts with your prayers, offer them a ram, and after you, bending their heads towards Erebus, but yourself turn away from them as though you would make them towards the river. On this way, dead man's ghost will come to you, and you must tell your man to skin the two sheep that you have just killed, and offer them a sacrifice of prayers to Hades and to Persephone. Then draw your sword and sit there so as to prevent any other poor ghosts from coming near the split blood before Tiresias shall have answered your questions. The seer will presently come to you and will tell you about the voyage, what stages you are to make, and how you are to sail the sea so as to reach your home. It was daybreak by the time she had done speaking, so she dressed me in my shirt and cloak as for herself. She threw a beautiful light gossamer fabric over her shoulders, fastening it with a golden girdle around her waist, and she covered her head with a mantle. Then I went about among the men everywhere, all the house, and so kindly to each of them, man by man, you must not lie sleeping here any longer, said I to them. You must be going, for Zeus has told me all about it. And on this they did as I bade them. Even so, however, I did not give them away without misadventure. We had with us a certain youth named Elpenor, not very remarkable for sense of courage, had not got him drunk while lying on the house top away from the rest of the men to sleep off his liquor in the cool. When he heard the noise of men bustling about, he jumped up on a sudden and forgot all about coming down on the main staircase, so he tumbled right off the roof and broke his neck, and his soul went down to the house of Hades. When I had got the men together, I said to them, you think you are mad to start coming again, as Circe has explained to me that instead of this, you have to go to the house of Hades and Persephone to consult the ghost of the Fabian prophet Tiresias. The men were broken hearted as they heard me, and threw themselves on the ground, groaning and tearing their hair, but they did not bend matters by crying. When we reached the seashore, weeping and lamenting our fate, Circe brought the ram into view and made them pass hard by the ship. She passed through the midst of us without our knowing it, for who can see the comings and goings of a god if the god does not wish to be seen?